we're going kind of in that topic, but you know, speaking of gangster shit and when being gangster goes too far, what are your thoughts on Kephy D making the statements that eventually led his door to be kicked in and him to be hauled off to prison where he currently resides now?
Well, you know, it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It probably is a duck. And so, you know, I think Keefe should have been in jail motherfucking 3 weeks after it happened. Everybody was bragging about who did it anyway, from a street perspective, and the cops knew who did it. Everybody knew what the deal was, you know, and at some point you can only brag about a murder and say what you did and not get arrested. You know, he had a deal with the cops in the beginning for selling some drugs. They put that under the thing and for information. So he didn't know how to shut the F up, and it eventually cost him his time. So he should have been in jail. I got zero love for Kephy D. Obviously, Pac put himself in a situation, unfortunately, I think that may have cost him his life by some of his actions, but I don't think that warrants you killing anybody, period, ever. And so, you know, I think Keefe should be in jail for life. You know, it's unfortunate none of the other young men who were in the car got any justice. You know, I guess they got murdered, most of them. So I guess that's close, you know.
So in reality, after all the investigating that you've done, who do you think killed Tupac in your opinion?
Either somebody in that car. If Orlando didn't pull the trigger, someone else in the backseat did. Period. That's it. I don't want to hear all you internet trolls and back and forth. I was there. I was with people in the car. I know people who saw it. I know people who were in the car right behind it. I talked to people who literally saw Tupac on the ground bleeding. This is not like, you know, conspiracy, the white man, or blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy by our actions. And so we all love Tupac, and, you know, Tupac's a great human being, but it was some street shit that he got caught up in. And
I got a question, Mr. P. Frank. Did Tupac get shot in the chest?
Yes. I think it's chest. I think it's chest. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's chest, hand, maybe groin was the first time. Because you know he got shot before or whatever happened. But he did, because I think what happened was, if you know that street corner, they're right here in the second lane over. You can watch Who Killed Tupac and one of it, it shows you. And then the right lane came over with the white Cadillac. They shot from the back seat. Tupac's in the passenger seat. Tupac tries to get in the back seat. So that gets his hand and that gets his chest. If he probably crawls down, he probably is getting the head, whatever. But the fact that he raised up, from what I was told, because we did a gun test, if you watch Who Killed Tupac with Ben Crump. So we took a car, actual car, and we did the test. So from what I know, Tupac did get shot in the chest. And the lung situation was what really killed him, because they had to take out one of his lungs.
Okay, so he was, somebody was shooting at him, and unlike most people who actually try to dive in the car back seat from going toward the center, he dove in the back seat.
Correct.
Towards the door.
I think he might have been paranoid. I can't speak. I was not there. Respect to the brother.
Yeah, I never understood how you get shot. First of all, it's almost impossible to get in the back seat, from the front seat, facing the door and going over, because you're going across. Correct. You're going across your own body, and you got to go up against the door. But if you go towards the center of the car, your ass and your back should be to the shooter. Correct. That's how you people dive in the back of the seat. I've never seen anybody go to the back seat from that side. And that always confused me. And
what I was told, he tried to get up and go in the back, and that's what hit it. You know, I wasn't there, but this is what report says. Yes.
All right. I ain't mad at it, but it didn't make sense, and it makes more sense today. But I still got my suspicions. Anyway, go ahead.
Whatever, man. I'm not here to like.
I know. We're not going to debate that.
I'm a journalist. I give you stuff that I interview people, that I recorded, that I filmed, that I didn't just like make up on the internet. That I talked to the police, that I seen the police reports. I'm not, on the internet like trolling. That's not what I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me ask you, Pete, what can you tell us about any surprising facts that you learned during your investigations of the notorious B.I.G., another great that we lost, March 9th, 1997? if I do believe. Yeah, what can you tell us about that? And also, there was a theory out there for years. I don't know how true it is because I haven't really delved deep into it. That DJ Quick had something
Well,
to do
first of
with
all,
it.
Dave had shit to do with that. Dave was outside in the line at the museum, just hanging out. Big had just seen him and walked by. And I think people, because of the rumor that he was just there in the line, made that up. But that's absolutely not true. Please don't put that out there. And I asked him, and I know that party, I was there. I wasn't in that part of the party, but I was there. And so I think Biggie's a complicated story. If you had to ask me who really killed Biggie, I'm not sure. A lot of people say there was a gang member who was hired by Suge, who killed him. I'm blanking on his name right now. He looked kind of like a Muslim with a bow tie. That was the description. And that's what most people say is the person that did it, and that allegedly Suge may have been a part of that. There's people that say that Rafael Perez and David Mack, who were working for Death Row at the time, were working the event and may have something to do with it as well. I think no matter what happened, crooked cops were working for Death Row and the police. It was a very complicated situation where I don't think the cops ever really wanted the full case to be solved because it would implicate them and show that they had dirty cops on the force. So to me, that's, if you want to know that part. And I think the thing about Biggie too was, and everybody knows this, I think, that Big didn't want to go that night. Big, unfortunately, Puff forced him to go. I'm sure that haunted Puff crazy. And one of the craziest things about that shooting, because we went, I think, on Who Shot Biggie and Tupac. If you go to that light, if you're from LA or you've been in LA, the Peterson is on the corner of Wilshire. Is that La Brea? Wilshire, La Brea. Right, it's Wilshire, La Brea. And so where it's going now, but there used to be a circular driveway. And when you pulled out, you went right and you went down La Brea. The thing was, Puff got to the light in front of Big and another Suburban. And then Big and Little C's, I don't know if it was D-Rock or one of the other homies was in the car right behind. The Chevy Impala, I think, pulled up on the side and really was trying to kill Puff. Most people think that the bullets was for Puff. It's just so happened that Puff ran through the light. He didn't stop at the light. So if Puff stops at the light and Puff is in the passenger side of that car, just like Big was in the passenger side of the Suburban. So 3 to 5 seconds later, if Puff don't pull off, they get Puff. So I'm not sure people, a lot of people think that it was targeted for Big, which I think you could say, but I do think that